Hey, welcome to the Balanced FLUX podcast. I'm Tenny McLeod, and these are my takes on cultivating mental health, enhancing personal productivity, thereby living a balanced life. I hope that you'll be inspired to expand the quality of your life and in turn, empower others along the way. Expect new episodes on Sundays at 1 p.m. UTC on major podcast apps and platforms. And remember that you can always get more information on the website at balancedflux.com. So join me now and every week on this inspiring and fulfilling journey through the Balanced FLUX podcast. Have you ever found yourself frozen in the supermarket aisle? Well, not in the frozen food section, but while staring helplessly at the shelves. That dreadful, agonizingly life-changing moment arrives when you must finally choose between cereal and bread. Ah yes, the comforting crunch of one in the morning versus the soft allure of the other for your sandwiches. This experience, believe it or not, is known as decision paralysis. Now, even though choosing between cereal and bread may not lead to the end of the world, your world, however, can be severely affected. Essentially, decision paralysis or analysis paralysis is the inability to make a decision due to overthinking and overanalyzing. This can be a simple choice with little consequence or a major life decision. There are a few types of decision paralysis you might encounter. First, there's the perfectionism-driven paralysis, which compels you to make the absolute best choice, so you research and analyze until you feel overwhelmed. It's like trying to pick the perfect apple from a tree overflowing with fruit. You keep searching for the flawless one, but in the process, you might miss out on enjoying any of them. You may also be subjected to the fear of failure type, where you worry too much about making the wrong choice, so you avoid making any decision whatsoever. It's like standing at a crossroads, afraid to take a step in either direction because you might end up on the wrong path. In fact, there's even the overwhelm type, as the sheer number of options available makes it difficult to evaluate and choose between them. Imagine being in a restaurant with a menu the size of a mystery novel. The vast selection might leave you feeling bewildered and unable to order anything at all. However, there's somewhat of a general belief that decision paralysis may be a sign of intelligence simply because it involves, well, analysis. But this isn't entirely accurate. Why? Because the analysis involved is almost always excessive. There are several myths surrounding decision paralysis. For example, it's correlated with, as previously mentioned, intelligence. In reality, it often indicates a need for greater self-awareness and better decision-making strategies. It's not about how smart you are, but how well you can navigate the decision-making process. Another common misunderstanding is that decision paralysis is the same as indecisiveness. Now, while they may look the same on the surface, indecisiveness is a personality trait, whereas decision paralysis is a situational mental state. Think of it this way. Indecisiveness is like a constant drizzle, creating a slow, steady buildup of uncertainty that stalls your momentum. Decision paralysis, on the other hand, is akin to a sudden downpour, striking suddenly and overwhelming you with fear and confusion, trapping you in a state where moving forward feels impossible. Surprisingly, it is also often assumed that those struggling with decision paralysis are actually lazy and unwilling to put in the effort to decide. But the thing is, they are often overthinking things, caught in a whirlwind of never-ending analysis and contemplation. While there are some potential benefits to decision paralysis, the drawbacks easily outweigh them. One possible positive aspect is thorough consideration. You may consider all available options, ensuring a more informed decision. However, this can delay progress and prevent you from seizing opportunities. It's like meticulously planning a trip but never actually embarking on it. Another plus point is probably the reduced risk. By overanalyzing your options, you may reduce the risk of making a wrong choice, but this comes at the expense of lost opportunities and decreased productivity. It's like refusing to leave the house without a 100% guarantee of sunshine, only to find yourself stuck indoors on a perfectly pleasant day. Having greater confidence is also seemingly a noteworthy advantage. Once a decision is finally made, you may feel more confident in your choice. However, this is often overshadowed by the stress and anxiety experienced during the decision-making process. It's like finally choosing a paint color for your walls, but only after agonizing over countless swatches and second-guessing yourself at every turn. If you frequently suffer from decision paralysis, fear not. There are many ways to address it. One effective technique is setting deadlines. Give yourself a time limit to make a decision. Granted, this can elevate your stress levels, but it can help reduce overthinking and encourage action, swiftly alleviating the pressure built up once the decision is made. It's like having a timer for a game. It keeps you focused and prevents you from getting bogged down in endless deliberation. And once the game ends, you don't feel the tension anymore. Another helpful strategy is to limit options. Reduce the number of choices available to you. This can help prevent overwhelm and make it easier to compare your options. It's like choosing from a curated selection of clothes instead of rummaging through an overflowing closet. Sometimes, the best way to make a decision is to trust your gut, and this approach can also prove invaluable. All you need to do is go with your intuition and avoid overthinking, no matter how strong the urge is. It's like taking a leap of faith. Sometimes you just have to trust your instincts and see where they lead you. Bear in mind that decision paralysis is a common problem that can hinder your productivity and well-being. By understanding its causes and implementing effective strategies, you can overcome this challenge and make decisions more confidently and efficiently. It's not unlike learning to ride a bike. It might seem daunting at first, but with practice and the right techniques, you can master it, move forward, and enjoy the freedom plus independence it brings. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Balanced Flux podcast. A new episode drops every Sunday at 1 p.m. UTC on major podcast apps and platforms. You can also listen to the podcast and extend your support through the website at balancedflux.com. This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. Kindly seek the appropriate care and treatment from licensed professionals. Do join the community on social channels and send your messages there or via email. Either way, if this podcast sparks some form of inspiration, I'd be more than glad to hear from you. Thank you for sharing your time and mind space. Your presence and engagement truly make this journey even more fulfilling and rewarding. I'm Tenny McLeod, signing off for now, and until the next time, stay safe, best wishes, and keep striving to achieve your balanced flux.